All right, everyone. Welcome to episode
That was loud.
38 of Hoagies and Pierogis. I'm your host, Ian DiCarlo.
And I'm the world famous Twitter guy, RJ Hammond. We'll
I don't
talk
know what
about
was
that
up with
later.
that.
I don't either.
We obviously have to go over Damar Hamlin first. Happened last Monday. We were, looking forward to the game like everyone else, and then we were all shocked and kind of blown away by what happened. It was just a moment that I think I'll never forget. It was scary as fuck. I hope I never have to see it again. But
Yeah, I don't know how many people realized it like in the moment until there was the replay once he was down. And I think like I was doing something on my phone, I looked up and I saw the replay and I said to Reagan, I was like, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "That's not good." I was like, that's hard or something." She's like, "Do you think he's paralyzed?" I was like, "No, he got up and walked. He took one step and then went down. There's no like
right,
waiting for a spinal thing to happen." That I was like, that's something bad. And then the longer and longer it was, I was like, "Oh, this is really bad." And fortunately enough, like he's good and he's going back to Buffalo, and the doctors and nurses, and I'm sure everyone took great care of him. And
absolutely.
it's kind of crazy that since we last recorded, like that happened, and in a week's time he's already like back home. So I mean
I
that's
cannot believe it
amazing.
is nothing short of a miracle that CPR for 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes. That's insane.
Yeah.
That he's even awake right now. Honestly, you would think he would still be in a coma
Well,
on life support.
did you see about what like actually like happened or how that happened? It's like a like milliseconds of where he got hit or in his like
Yes.
in the heartbeat cycle that causes
Com-
that.
uh, Commodio cordis
I had never even heard of
is,
that.
is what it's called.
I'd never heard of that. But like when I was heard about CPR, like that they were giving him CPR and stuff, my main thing was, and again like awesome job by the training staff and everyone there and all, like getting to him fast, because most important was how long was he like not like out basically without getting CPR and circulating that blood and getting the
Right.
oxygen to his brain, because if it was longer, like that could have caused some severe brain issues and stuff. So
So it's not a surprise that you haven't heard of this. Its incidence is less than 20 cases per year in the U.S. And it's mostly during youth sports. It never gets to the point where they make the league.
yeah.
It would have thought that it would have happened. Earlier on if he may have been susceptible to this or not.
Yeah, I thought in the moment it was like some type of undiagnosed like heart condition that they found. Like they kind of one of Penn State's running backs, he ended his football career because of COVID, and because of COVID he found he had some type of heart condition, so he like stopped playing because it could have maybe caused something like that. So it was crazy. Definitely something no one has ever like seen happen. I hope we never see it happen again.
Right. And
Yeah.
the last little piece on Wikipedia, it says with use of an AED within 3 minutes of the impact, survival rate can be high as 58%.
Wow.
So that's within 3 minutes. He was given CPR for 10 minutes until he got the AED.
Oh
So
wow. Oh
this is nothing short of a miracle. His odds were definitely less than 50% in this case.
yeah.
Obviously, I can't say for sure, what they would have been, but extremely, extremely low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to speculate anything. As like, I'll just leave it at like I'm just happy that he's better. I was gonna go on
Right.
like what they would do if he just, but there's he's better, and that's really all that matters now is he's
Well,
communicating to us and
yeah.
everything.
Today the doctors ruled out any possible pre-existing condition, so they said it's likely from impact.
Oh well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So some residual things kind of happened from that incident. Um, the doctor saying that it went true football guy asking who won
All
the
right,
game
enough
as
with
soon
the
as it
sappy
came out.
shit.
Like the doctor
Enough
saying
with the sappy
you
shit. Let's
won the
go.
game of life. I don't. How true is that? And that's kind of like,
Damar, oh Damar, you won. You won, my dear boy. You won the game of life.
but
Shut the fuck up.
as corny as that sounds, I could totally see myself like in that moment being like, oh man, I'm gonna deliver this prolific fucking line right now, and it's gonna be great. And I'm sure a lot of people thought it was great, but there's cynics like us who just are like, come on, man. You could have just been like, nothing, man. This is what happened to you, like, and explain it all. And because Tamar in the moment was probably like, "Fuck, do you mean?" He's like, "I want to know."
Like what? I thought I just got knocked
won.
out. Like, yeah. I wonder if he knows like what happened. I don't think that's been asked yet.
I mean, I'm sure they told him, but as far as like, like.
But like, yeah, in the moment, like right when he woke up, did he like think he just got knocked out? Or,
Oh yeah.
You know what actually happened?
I'm
But
sure there'll be some E60 or something that they'll do about it. Or he'll like explain
that would be,
more.
They should. Schefter tweeting that he was placed on IR on Friday. So unintentionally funny.
Schefter's just a robot, man. Like him and Darren Ravel. I don't know how much you like know of Darren Ravel or who he is, and like
I know who he is. I watched my
they're-
fair share of NFL Network back in the day.
They are so just like Darren Ravel with his JJ Watt thing he did this weekend was ridiculous, and everything he does online is ridiculous. And so is like I've listened to Schefter in like different interviews, and he's like a normal guy, but it definitely like I think in the back of his mind he's like the insider, and just some things he needs to like get out first and stuff like that. Like when I saw that, I was about to get in the shower, and I was like, no shit, Schefter. Of course he's on the IR. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I thought he was going to make a recovery and play next week in the playoffs.
Like, come on, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, but I mean,
I will say,
honestly,
I wanted to mention. I mean, I don't want to call them like. I want to give. I don't know. Some type of acknowledgement to the broadcasters too, just being put into. I know it's like they have a great job, they have great, but like, I mean, you could see Booger McFarlane when they kept cutting to the studio and him having to talk. Like, you could tell he just did not want to be there, and
right. I mean, no one.
Yeah, no one did, and that's such an impossible moment for them too to try and just like be like, all right, we're gonna try and keep this broadcast going, and they just kept cutting back to the studio and cutting back to the game, and I like in my head,
BK,
yeah,
have it your way.
Yes, that was gonna say. Like they
you know
have
what?
that.
I didn't.
Oh my god.
I didn't see much of that last night, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
What was worse, Damar Hamlin almost dying on the field, or TCU actually being murdered on the field?
Well, Damar Hamlin, but that game was really rough for a while there. I mean, the whole game was rough.
Holy shit!
Do you remember? Do you remember 10-7? Do you remember when it was 10-7? That was awesome. That 10-7, that half
awesome.
a second, that
he
was
made
like
that great open field tackle 1-on-1 to get him to kick the field goal to go up 10-0, and you're like, all right.
Yeah,
and
a
then
little momentum.
Duggan just slings it down the field, and you're like, let's go.
In retrospect, the guy just like fell. The guy just straight up fell, and then it just got and honestly, like I texted my brother and I had him bet the over for me, and Georgia hit it on its own. But like even at halftime when there was like 41 or 45 points scored, I was like, I still don't feel comfortable about this because Georgia's just going to sit on it like they do in the year, and they did not. They put in the backups, and it was almost worse when they put in the backups. The defense, like they were just hungry for something to get something because they probably hadn't played all year, and then they get put in the national championship, and they're like, I'm going to murder you. I mean, the offense moved straight down the field when they put the backups in, almost easier than the starters. And same with the defense. The defense just killed them, and
they were just eating all night. The defense looked unstoppable. Right away, you knew it would take miracle plays on every single drive from TCU to win. And that was just not happening. From the first drive, Duggan looked awful. Missed like 2 wide open passes on that first drive to go 3 and out.
The guy had just no time to throw whatsoever. I mean, they were on him. And even when he did have a little bit of time, no one was open. Like, you, as a fan, you're like,
no one.
Someone's got to be open. And then they show the other angle. And you're like, oh, no one's fucking open at all.
Yeah.
There's no one out there who is ready.
And when there was someone open, Duggan just read past. He went through his reads and then started to freak out. You could tell. It was terrible.
I would too if I had that fucking defense coming after me. I forget who it was. I guess he wasn't even on the defense. I don't know who their tight end is. He's number 0. Maybe he was a backup later in the game.
I can't remember.
He's massive. He's so big.
He's huge. I remember earlier in the year we were doing an episode and I was like, the big tight end, and you were like, Bowers? And I was like, no, I can't remember his name. That was him, number 0.
There's another one who might even be better, but Brock Bowers is going to be a weapon and I'd say top first round pick for sure. I don't know why you wouldn't draft him if you're an NFL team. Like, hell,
Probably end of the first round. I think he goes at the end of the first.
Yeah, somewhere
beginning of the second. Taking a tight end that high is not
middle to late. Like if you're a playoff team where you don't have like many holes, maybe like before the Vikings traded for TJ Hawkinson, that wouldn't be a bad draft pick. But someone like that, like right in that area, that like we wouldn't need him. But hell, I'm sure you'd gladly take him.
Mm-hmm.
Have another monster like Gronk.
Absolutely.
Nice,
but
a nice security blanket for Mac.
We'll get into it, but we need to get rid of Jonnu Smith first. He's just a blocking machine, but he doesn't do anything in the passing game.
I want to go into how fucking awful SoFi Stadium is also, and how right I was and how validated I was. First of all, we had a little bit of discussion where I kind of I told on myself that I haven't been able to look at the itinerary and I was just ignoring it. And I texted you and I said, SoFi Stadium's not allowing tailgating? What the fuck? I knew that they were frauds and like awful. And you were like, do you ever look at the itinerary? I was like, well, it hasn't been working. And then I deleted my app and downloaded it again and it worked fine. And I was like, okay.
It had been on there for 2 days when you texted me that.
Either way, I had only just heard of it.
Also, yeah, do you just not look at Twitter like during like the week?
I do all the time. I spend a lot of time on Twitter. I don't know. That one must have just slipped through. And I heard that. And I was like, what the fuck? And then Georgia's governor guaranteed that there would be it's like and also TCU
2025 at the state capitol, baby.
TCU not only got fucking rained on by Georgia, the fans literally got rained on in the stadium. The fact that there is a stadium that has a top and you can still get rained on, what is that? That is so stupid. And I hope anyone who's listening is going to build a new stadium in the next couple of years don't. And college football, no, we're not going back there. I don't care how much they pay you. We're not going there. That was so sad. The TCU fans were already so sad.
Dude, no tailgating is bullshit. That's complete bullshit at the national championship game, biggest event of the year. Everyone's there. They just missed out. I don't know if they missed out on an opportunity, but hell, $6 billion. Pat McAfee was saying it. You can't build a roof.
I know.
I don't get it.
So utterly dumb that you can't.
It's
and
just
the
like
fact,
a large mesh canopy. I don't know.
It's a full cover, but only like because like the way the wind was blowing, the rain just got in there. And it's just so sad for those poor TCU fans. They like,
apparently God. It rained like really bad.
Yeah, and the first game in LA ever played in that stadium had a lightning delay. Do you remember that last year? It was
I
like,
don't remember that, but you said that earlier in the week. And I
yeah,
was
it
like,
was
what
like
the fuck?
Rams Chargers last year. Whoever opened the first game last year in that stadium, I think it was the second Monday night game when they did that, and it was delayed forever, and it was like
That's so bad. That's so bad.
so stupid, so dumb. SoFi Stadium.
The
I'm
the breeze is gonna blow the fucking lightning through there.
Yeah. If I ever end up in LA, I will stop by SoFi Stadium just to spit on it and then walk away.
Take a piss on it.
Um,
Dude, Blake Corum going back to Michigan doesn't make any fucking sense.
that's so stupid as a running back.
I really don't get it.
Like, even if he was a Heisman, like I don't know how much higher you could get. I know he tore his ACL and maybe you want to come back and prove like
Did he tear his ACL? Is that what it was?
I think that's what it was. But like you come back, that's so much as a running back. Your time is so limited now. Like people, especially in the NFL, they get rid of running backs like it's nothing. You need to declare for the draft as soon as fucking possible. And I mean, it might be a thing where maybe he is going to make more money at Michigan as far as NIL because running backs, even like someone like him, sometimes end up
that's
going
what
to like
a lot of people were saying, that the NIL is keeping people to their senior year, which is nice. That's honestly nice.
cool.
But
It is cool because you get to see them play even more. But yeah, I guess maybe in retrospect it was better, but I don't know because he's probably was still going to be maybe a third or fourth rounder, and it's like you're getting paid $500,000 instead of over $1 million.
Yeah, if he does have a torn ACL, definitely slipping down a little bit, but without that, he would be second behind Bijan Robinson. I think. I really do think he's that good.
I don't know. You think that? I feel like I think that every year. Some of these running backs that are at the top, I'm like, oh, they're going to get drafted in the first round or something. And they get drafted way later than that. And other running backs get drafted before them. And it's like, I just don't. I'm like, what am I missing? Like, I think Jonathan Taylor, when he was in college at Wisconsin, was unbelievable and unstoppable. And I think he was like a second or third round pick. And it's like, how did he get out of the first round? I just think
that's for running backs. Yeah, exactly. It's not a knock on Jonathan Taylor. There's just how quickly if they're a workhorse, how long are they going to be a workhorse for, and are they even going to be able to transition? Which I think Big Ten running backs usually do.
Almost always.
But
yeah, I guess it's just more of a way the NFL evaluates running back talent compared to running backs used to be first overall picks.
Right. Yeah.
Now it's like,
speaking of Michigan, Harbaugh is under investigation for buying 2 recruits a burger at the Brown Jug. Dude, it could have been way worse. They could have been at Brown Jugs buying lap dances. It could have been way worse.
It could have been a lot. Like, I don't know. With NIL and all that stuff, like, come on, you're going to get him for a burger? Come on now. That's just so stupid.
That's such bullshit that they can't buy recruits lunch. That's the least they could do.
And so what? And like, yeah, so what? He's going to... And when you go on your recruiting trip... Now, it's different for me, I guess. I was a D1 recruit for swimming, but like, I got a meal at... I guess when you go on regular visits to schools, you get a meal anyway. I was going to say, but like, you get a meal at the dining hall and stuff. Like, there's definitely... The fact that they're like, you can't get perks that are above, like, separate you from the... No. You are making millions of dollars at some of these places for the universities and TV networks and stuff. Why can't they get a burger?
Can we rewind for 1 second?
What'd I fuck up?
You were a D1 recruit for swimming?
Oh, no, I did not mean D1. D2. I think I said D1 and I put up 2.
I was like, I wasn't a D1 recruit for swimming.
No. I think I went D1 and put up 2 fingers.
Yeah, I was like, hold up.
No. Because I only started swimming sophomore year of high school, so I did not get that good.
I knew that, yeah. I was like, I won states in Pennsylvania and I was not a D1 recruit.
Yeah. I don't know about this whole Michigan thing. It's just I mean,
I
all
don't
these
know.
different NFL places are touting for him or want to
I was
interview
gonna
him.
say, what if it's like a plant by Harbaugh? Is it like an excuse to leave
Yeah, after last year.
after he already said that he's not leaving?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, but I'm being investigated. I better get out of here.
I want to go back to the national championship real quick. And it was said on Twitter, how mad do you think Ohio State fans were watching that, knowing they were
Ooh.
they basically lost the national championship game by 1 point because if they would have just went in, they probably would have done the exact same thing. Maybe not the exact same thing, but they would have absolutely killed that team.
I've seen more Alabama fans be mad that they were like,
Fuck
oh, if you
Alabama
wanted to be
fans.
Georgia, you should have sent Alabama in there.
No, they were not
Like
going
those
to
two
be.
players from the team posted that.
They did.
Yeah,
Players
like two
from the
players
team?
from the team. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, Georgia.
I don't know if they're starters or I didn't know who it was, but
It might take one more national championship to fully say it, but Georgia is slowly becoming the new Alabama, where they are just head and shoulders above everyone, and it's even more relevant last night when, like I said, those freshmen came in and the game got even worse for TCU. It's like they are just recruiting and building talent, so just freaks of nature on the field. And Alabama,
they are.
Alabama, if you wanted to be there, don't lose 3 games. I'm sorry, or 2 games, or however many games you lost. I don't care how much you beat K State. It doesn't matter.
The big one was the loss to Tennessee. I think that's what kept them out.
I think they still, if they had lost to Tennessee, they probably still would have been in with just that one loss. I think they would have been put in over. Yeah, probably put in over TCU because if they would have played Georgia.
Well, I think they would have been put in over Ohio State just because Ohio State didn't make the Big Ten championship. But
That's true.
I think that would be the only reason, though.
Yeah.
It's splitting hairs.
Alabama fans have. I hope if Georgia does become the next Alabama, they don't get as arrogant and fucking stupid as Alabama fans.
Right,
Because. Okay, something's going on upstairs. But, like, they're just like, oh, we should have been in. No. You play the season for a reason. You play it for a reason, and that you didn't play well enough to get in there. And I'm sorry,
Right.
you're not in there. Maybe you would have won, but it sure didn't look like you would have won. You lost to LSU. You lost to Tennessee. You don't deserve to be in there. I'm sorry. Suck a dick, Alabama.
Absolutely not.
And next year, all your best players are leaving. Who's going to be your starting back? Jalen Milroe? That guy was not good when he played. Anyway, go ahead. Fuck Alabama fans. They're so fucking annoying.
Another person that's not going to get in somewhere, Stetson Bennett does not qualify for the College Football Hall of Fame.
My rivalry of the year might go to you versus Stetson Bennett.
Yes. I just learned this before the podcast. He was never named an All-American, so he cannot be in the College Football Hall of Fame. Max Duggan can, though.
Well, he is going to go down as one of the not best college football quarterback. Well, maybe one of the best, not talent-wise, but as far as
I don't
just
know what his accumulative stats look like, but
not even stats, just story and being able to do that for Georgia. Like, Georgia fans will very conveniently forget last year they wanted him replaced during the season. They wanted JT Daniels to start half the time. And credit to Kirby Smart for sticking with him and being like, this guy. Now, he's not going to be he might be a great backup for years in the NFL. But I will say right now he might be a great Mike Shanahan quarterback. Be great for the 49ers. But anyone could be great. Kyle Shanahan. Mike is his dad. But he might, like, you and I could quarterback for the 49ers and look great. So, he's not going to be, he'll be a great backup for years because
right.
you saw the
We went over this mostly last week.
Yeah. He wasn't making any great passes. Everyone was fucking wide open.
They were. Oh, God.
Unbelievable catches.
Every single play. It was just, I could not believe how wide open some of these people were. And who was that?
Second touchdown?
The little white kid.
Oh, it's like it starts with an M or something. Maybe it is an L. I don't know. But that second one, that offensive coordinator just schemed something so perfectly where the guy was just standing in the end zone waiting for the ball. and no one was in like 50 yards of him.
Lad McConkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. He went off. He was having the game of his life.
Yeah. Had a great game. All right, I'll stop with that. The championship stuff. That's about all I got.
I mean, like, we wanted to talk about it more. It's disappointing that we can't.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked more about every other fan base being mad about the game than.
Right. The anthem was better than the game.
Did you watch that video that I did tweet though about that guy? The guy was losing his mind.
I was at work when we were texting, so
you'll have to watch it after. The guy, it's a Mississippi State fan, just losing his mind about the national championship game, just about how awful it is. He's so passionate. I love it.
I saw everyone in the replies posted the Woody meme. Let him cook.
Yeah.
Wait, let him cook.
It was very funny, but he was a little irrational.
Well, let's see if Harbaugh goes somewhere. The coaching carousel is flying. It's going round and round. New Orleans gave Denver permission to interview Peyton, which I didn't realize he was still under contract. I thought once he signed a contract with Fox that he was out.
Nope, he just retired, so he's still technically under contract. He just so if someone does end up hiring him, they'll have to give compensation picks.
And Saints want a first-round pick. Saints want a first-rounder.
That would
Denver doesn't have shit to give up. I a lot of people were saying, how many years can you give a draft pick up?
That's true.
In the future, like 2027 first-rounder?
Yeah, because, the Seahawks have their pick this year, which is great for the Seahawks. They have 2 first-round picks and played well this year and played well enough to make the playoffs.
Right. Why does Sean McVay want to leave so bad? Can you answer me that? Can you rid of me that, Batman?
I think there is a possibility the TV contracts that he's being put in front of him have many, many, many zeros. Lots of zeros.
I feel like he can win another 3 Super Bowls pretty easly over the course of the next 30 years.
Well,
he's in his late 30s.
I think when I was watching the pregame show on Sunday when they talked about this, and he's so young that he could go and do TV for a couple years, make a fuck ton of money doing TV, and then still be young enough to go back. And if you look at the Rams right now, they paid a lot for that Super Bowl last year, and if you look at future picks and contracts and stuff, they're kind of fucked. Their future, once all the starters are done and all their key pieces, it's not going to be great in LA.
So I hear a lot of rumors about Jalen Ramsey going to the Cowboys, but I don't know. Why would you? I don't know.
Why does everyone want to go to the Cowboys? The Cowboys are not a good team. The Cowboys are not a good team. They have not been a good team for years. They can barely win a playoff game. Dak sucks. Dak has
argue with you, but yeah, that 26-6 loss to the fucking Commanders.
The Commanders
was horrible.
Did you see Major Tutty walking around with his hog ass?
Ooh.
Which might be from like top, from the head to the shoulders, he looks great. And then I don't know what that fucking pouch is that he has. That
it's a little bit, it's a little weird.
That
disproportionate
organization is just so horribly ran and so awful. I can't wait for Dan Snyder to actually sell the team. So like the whole division, they were competitive this year, but like it's like, all right, they're just the Commanders. They're gonna figure a way to just shit the bed. I just can't wait for him to sell the team so that the whole conference, I can hate everyone, because the Giants hate has come back. The Dallas hate never really left, and I hate all these. Dallas is going to get maybe not curb stomped by Tom Brady, but Tom Brady has never lost to them. Never lost to the Cowboys.
Dude, it's going to be an ugly game next Monday.
It's going to be exactly the same game that they played at the beginning of the season, where although it does seem maybe the offense has figured it out a little bit, they're getting the offensive line back, and it's just going to be so bad because that Bucs defense is going to give Dak hell. He's going to throw his 8th interception, or his going 8th week in a row where he's thrown an interception, and just be just as sucky as normal.
I was gonna say 8th. Oh, more like 18th.
Yeah, he's part of lead. Actually, I will say I think the league leaders in interceptions this year was below 20 or right around 20. I feel like that's kind of low, or maybe I'm just skewed by the Jameis 30 for 30 year,
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I think we're spoiled in the interception
which was
category by Jameis.
I want to say greatest thing. One of my favorite sports memories of his 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, and the 30th interception was a pick six. It was amazing. I was cheering for no reason. I had no interest.
Like neutral season. Like yeah, he was bad, but yeah, he was pretty. He was slinging it.
He led the league in yards. He had like 5,500 yards.
It was shocking. I was like, that's still like the most baffling season, I think.
Which a big fuck you to the Saints and Dennis Allen for either getting him hurt that he couldn't play or him being healthy and not playing and not giving us Jameis and making us watch that stupid ginger all year.
You're just mad they won against Minshew.
Nah, that's really not it. I just hate it every time. Like,
I mean,
what other game can I watch? Yeah, it's like, what other game can I watch? Saints? No, I gotta watch fucking Andy Dalton and then, or give us Taysom Hill. I don't know.
I think that was the worst game that no one cared about this weekend. Was the Saints Panthers game, 10-7 Panthers.
I'll tell you what, I was pretty invested at the end of that game because that's our pick. We get that Saints pick.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's a top 10 pick now.
Oh my God. So Lovie Smith and Cliff Kingsbury were fired.
Cliff Kingsbury, deserving. That whole team seems to be completely in disarray. Lovie Smith, that felt mean. That felt kind of mean.
That did feel a little bit mean.
Yeah. I saw someone say it was racist because they just filled the quota. They hired him for 1 year to fill like the Rooney Rule thing, and then they fired him. And I was like, you make good points, but I don't know if that's...
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see going into this. We'll see going into this year. It seems like there are a lot of good candidates.
Organizations are pretty corrupt, so I don't know. But yeah, that was just mean. And you know what? Good for him for giving them a big fuck you on the way out by winning that game.
That's what I was going to say. He gave his former Bears family the #1 pick.
Yeah. And Davis Mills, the other giraffe the league with Mike Glennon.
4th and 20 or 4th and 12 or whatever it was.
Amazing.
For them to go into the red zone. That was an insane throw. Or was it? It was a touchdown. Yeah, it was a touchdown.
And that cornerback
my God,
forgot to put his hands up or something.
I have no idea.
Bears fans were
to break that way.
Bears Twitter was losing their mind. They were so happy. They have all this cap space, the #1 pick. Big Cat was tweeting like, "Come and get your quarterback, guys. Come and trade for your quarterback."
Did you see their GM was like, "Oh, we can't rule out the possibility of drafting a quarterback. We got to do all our work."
Oh, that's just bait.
The worst bait ever. Come on. They're going to give up on Fields after he almost set the rushing record for quarterback? No. He didn't look terrible either.
Give him, I know a lot of them want like Will Anderson or I forget the guy's name on Georgia who was really good, but I don't know. I guess in free agency.
Just declared last night?
Yeah.
The defensive tackle, I think. I can't remember what his name is.
Or I feel like give him someone to throw the ball to, maybe in free agency. I could see Devontae Adams somehow forcing himself out of Vegas.
That would be interesting if Derek Carr steps away.
They're going to trade him. I think they've already said they're looking to trade him.
Well, I just learned he has a no trade clause. I don't know to what teams he has a no trade clause. But that kind of throws a wrench in there.
I think I mentioned it before. He'd be a great Colts quarterback. He'd be a great Colts quarterback. He would do the same thing we've done the past 3 years of, these Colts, they got Derek Carr now.
Matt Ryan is not retiring. He's getting his money next year unless they cut him. The Colts have to cut him before Thursday, I think.
He really they just put him out to pasture out there in Indy, didn't they? That poor guy.
I mean, for $12 million.
Yeah, it felt mean too. Just the whole season of watching Matt Ryan just get nailed, and it's like, this poor guy, he doesn't deserve this.
Jeff Saturday doesn't deserve his head coaching position either.
No,
that's just bad.
Yeah,
they need to find a new coach. But Patricia has not been let go yet.
No, he
What
is not.
the fuck are they waiting for? I don't get it. Should have happened yesterday.
I see you're on the. I see you're on the cliff hype for your OC.
Cliff train, baby! Come on, Pats. Let's go. All aboard the Kingsbury train. He has ties to New England. He was Brady's backup. D-Hop once traded. Trade for D-Hop. Let's get it going. Next season will be fire. Trade that first-round pick. Get rid of it. Whatever.
Something about, I don't know. That'd be cool. That'd be cool for you to have Clifton. I don't know.
Kingsbury and D-Hop with the Patriots would be insane. A lot of coaches say that Kingsbury's offense is one of the most difficult to prepare for in the league. So he may not be a great head coach, but neither is Josh McDaniels.
True. I will. The Tom Brady rumors have been flying too, of him going to either San Francisco or Las Vegas, and that would be. I don't know, man.
I don't understand that. I think he'll just retire. Did you see his new girlfriend?
Oh yeah, she like barely speaks English, doesn't she? She's very beautiful, but
she doesn't have to. Are you kidding me?
I mean, honestly, at this point, why would he retire? Giselle's gone. What's the point? Giselle seemed like to be the reason that he retired. So why not just go till you're 50? He can still sling it. Like it's not like.
Yeah.
It's not like like Drew Brees or Peyton Manning where it's like a struggle to get the bar. I mean, he's still throwing bombs downfield. So it's not his arm.
He still gets it out so fast that he just barely gets hit.
It's just he just can't. His only thing is he really can't move, which he never really could. But
right.
Hey, you know what? If he can keep doing it, he's got the TV contract just waiting for him, which is still insane.
He does, yeah. Whenever you want to, Brady.
Where is that even for again? Is it Fox or something or ESPN?
I'm pretty sure it's on Fox.
Oh,
like $250 million over fucking 8 years or something like that. Something crazy. Something absurd.
Yeah. I will say, Fox has got some good broadcasters as far as sports go. Some great voices.
I do like Howie and Michael and.
Oh, the pregame show is the best. I love that pregame show.
Absolutely.
Because I think they got Greg Olson now too, unless I'm wrong and he's on CBS. But I love Greg Olson. I like when he's on the games. Not sure. I'm starting to hate listening to Dan Orlovsky talk about games. He gets so. I love his breakdowns on Twitter when he's breaking down film, but then he does it like in the game, and I'm like, damn, just talk about the game, man. That's why I just don't even have sound on anymore, unless it's
he's a little bit too games. A little bit too I love God for me. Just a little bit.
I didn't even notice that about Orlovsky. I think I'm still mad at him for making me believe in Carson Wentz for too long. And he had the biggest man crush on Carson Wentz.
Oh boy, you hate Carson Wentz.
I do. I want to give Sam Howell a shout out. Played fairly decent against the Cowboys.
Looked impressive. I like that.
Not too bad. I give him a shot next year. He played great in college. Yeah. He was a great college. He's got weapons. There's no reason that team is basically an owner and a quarterback away from being very good.
Truly. And then Chase Young's coming back next year too.
They've got a solid defense. They've got 3 pretty good wide receivers. They got 2 good running backs.
Dude, Dotson is so good, and Scary Terry. Oh my God,
they're
actually really, really.
Curtis Samuel's a good complement to both of them. He has games. The 2 Antonio Gibson and
he's a little bit
Brian
Debo-like
Robinson.
Too.
Yeah, they. You know what is wrong with the Commanders? Poor John.
I don't know what to tell you, John.
I love when he tries to,
like you just said, an owner and a QB away.
That should be.
How is that? Then Dan Snyder just needs to sell the team.
Yeah, that should be just my rebuttal to everything John says. Is just John, you're a Commanders fan. Whenever he tries to get on my nerves, John, you're a Commanders fan. Sorry, man. Nothing you say is valid.
I'm on the Lions train too, even though they didn't make the playoffs.
Dude.
Market improvement.
But they got rid of the bad man. They sent the bad man home. They didn't let him into the playoffs, even though he's probably going to get murdered by the 49ers anyway. I was so happy not to see Aaron Rodgers. And he's like, don't worry, I'm not going to keep the team hostage this summer. Oh, yeah, you will. You're going to do 4 months of cryptid interviews and post and maybe another tattoo.
Gonna do some more ayahuasca.
Oh, yeah, plenty of that. Plenty of his cleanse where he just shoves lard down his throat and up his ass until he throws up and diarrheas everything out, whatever it was. He does. Ever since I saw that, I do view him as a lot greasier than I did before. Like, I'm always like, that's a greasy guy.
It's a little bit dirty.
And he said he was gonna keep that jersey when I forget who it was asked for it. He's like, I think I'm gonna keep this one. That motherfucker definitely knew that camera was right there. He wanted to send everyone into a fucking frenzy. He's just gonna be right back, and he's gonna have everyone spinning. Or Green Bay just gives up on him.
I mentioned the Lions because of Jamal Williams, first swag Kazakage.
The Kazakage!
Let's go, dude.
Watching people that night be like, what the fuck did he say? And all the replies being like, catch up on your Naruto, bro. Like,
right.
Jamal Williams is a national treasure, man. I love that guy. And then he did
that's great.
The Lions or someone
so good for him.
They did an interview for him like 2 days later or whatever in the locker room. He's like, and he slowed down what he said. He's like, first swag Kaze or Kazakage.
Swag
Yeah.
Kazakage.
Yes. The hidden village of the dead. And he's like, that's just the nerd shit. So all you nerds, like, you suck, basically.
Yeah, and he got it right with the Village of the Hidden Sand. I was proud. I mean, not like I questioned him in the first place, but I was proud that he got it right. He got his details right.
Oh yeah, he's always wearing the bandana all the time, breaking Barry Sanders' record, like go against his former team who just basically got rid of him. That was awesome. Especially, we should have seen this coming after that emotional speech he gave during what's it called, Hard Knocks that we talked about. That like. Both you and I were ready to cry too. If
you're gonna play with the dogs, play with the dogs. But if you're gonna piss on the porch with the puppies or something like that.
Yeah.
I wish I remembered it. I should start saving the fucking itineraries because it had that quote in there.
Yeah, that was
I don't
funny.
save them. I just get rid of them right away.
Yeah, I love that man. He's awesome.
Absolutely.
I wish Seattle would have lost. I would have much rather loved to see the Lions in there. They'll be a hot pick for everyone next year. They'll be like, look out for the Lions. And they won't win the Super Bowl, but they'll be in the playoffs, I think, for sure.
Right. I was going to give you the option of playoff field or schedule prediction results. Which one do you want to go over first? We kind of already got into playoffs.
Let's do playoffs since we already kind of talked about it. And then, because... I don't have too much to say about the schedule prediction results, but let's go over the playoffs.
Just it's a quick overview of the.
Yeah.
And we definitely will do it again, and I want to
Yeah.
Put a bet on it or some shit. We did good. We both did good, but the fucking playoffs are set. Let's go. I didn't write down the time of the games. So I don't have them here. The only one I know is Cowboys Bucks.
I think I remember them off the top of my head.
Sweet.
Maybe. Yeah, I think Seahawks Niners is that 4:00 Saturday, and then Jags Chargers is prime time. Which good for the Jags getting the AFC South out of that afternoon slot on Saturday, which they had occupied for years, even in the Deshaun Watson time. It was always them. So
right.
Good for you. And dude, there's so many good candidates for Coach of the Year this year, like Doug Peterson turning that around.
That is great. That's a great story.
Kyle Shanahan with his third string Brock Purdy making him look like God. I mean, Brian Daboll making the Giants into something. Do you want to do maybe predictions for these games? Maybe not scores, but maybe just picks who will win. I think scores is a lot for right now.
Wild card weekend. Yeah, so let's just go through them in chronological order. Seattle, San Francisco.
A rout. An absolute rout by San Francisco.
I don't know if it's going to be a rout because San Francisco San Francisco's defense a little bit later was kind of getting slung on. So I think Geno will put up a fight, but I think they'll pull away in the end. I think it'll be like a 30-20 game-ish.
I'm very scared of the 49ers. I think they, did what they had to do at the end of the season. And I think once it comes playoff time, I mean, Shanahan's shown he's had a couple chokes in the playoffs. 20-3, stuff like that. So, I don't know, but they seem like they're Georgia of the NFL. Like, you could put any quarterback back there, like I said, for Georgia, and they'd be Christian McCaffrey, Debo, Brandon Ayuk being an absolute stud this year.
Big,
out of nowhere.
physical, dynamic. Kittle.
That defense is so scary. It's so big. But yeah, I think the Seahawks I don't think it's ever close. I think it's definitely at least a 10-point win. Maybe Seattle. Yeah.
I'd like to see I wonder what it opened at. I would say probably like 9.5.
It's probably 10, I'll be honest. I'll look.
You know what? Let's just bring that up here.
Yeah. Let's see, I'll pull it up.
All right, FanDuel. Dude, it was a bad holiday for betting. let's just put it at that and leave it alone. That was real bad. Okay, NFL. Let's see here. 9.5. Yep, 9.5.
Oh, wow, exactly. Nice. These totals These totals are so low after watching college football.
That's 42.5 is the over/under. Wow.
I mean, I truly think if they want to, 49ers could just cover that themselves. I really think Seattle's been kind of on the downswing. I don't think it's going to be
a blowout like that, though.
I'm going to stick to my guns. I think they just get murdered. Seattle has not looked great, and San Francisco looks like they're just...
Let's see here.
Coming right to form.
16, 6, 24, 21, 30, 27, 40 against the Raiders.
How many points they put up, or how many points they let up?
The Seahawks in the past 7 games. So as of late, they've been pretty good since they've faced the Panthers. And they actually lost 21-13 against the 49ers in, week 14 there.
Yeah.
So it's not, like I said, I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I think it'll be a handy win for the 49ers.
Yeah. One of those where you're never like, oh, here comes Seattle. Maybe late.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe frisky early, and then San Francisco just comes out and is like...
If they start to put up points in garbage time, I think that's the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
Still like 30-20-ish, I think.
Now, that night game on Saturday is interesting because the Jags put an absolute spanking on the Chargers earlier this year, but that was without Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and also a very injured Justin Herbert at the time, even though he was playing. So I have no idea what to think of this game whatsoever. I think it's going to be close. I think it's a great primetime game.
I hope it's close. I really hope it's close.
The Chargers, I think it's going to be closer because Brandon Staley's a fucking idiot and was playing his starters well into the fourth. Mike Williams got carted off the field in that game, and that game meant absolutely nothing. It changed absolutely nothing for them and was so dumb. And I think if Mike Williams isn't playing, that hurts. And it shows it's hurt during the year. But I think it's still going to... The Chargers play the same game, I feel like, every week where it's just close. No matter what. Usually around the 20s. It's like 23-20 or like a 24-23 type game.
So the Jaguars haven't gotten a first down in about 19 minutes of football.
Wait, what? Oh, since the end of that last game?
Yeah, the Jaguars did not get a first down the whole fourth quarter. If they play like that, I don't know if it'll go well for them. The Chargers are a little bit more explosive than the Titans.
Yeah. I wonder if the Jags just kind of got their lead and sat on it, didn't want to do too much. I don't know.
No, they won on the pick six.
They were winning before that.
No, they weren't.
They were never down.
Yeah, they were. It was 13-10 going into the fourth, or 13 going into the fourth quarter. They were
Oh
down like
yeah,
the whole fourth quarter basically
that's
until they
right.
got the pick six. It was ugly.
I forgot that.
It was bad. It was bad.
That's right. You're right. I had it backwards. I was like, oh no, we're gonna have to watch Tennessee. That's my bad. A lot of people are in love with the Jags, though. I don't really get why, but like all of a sudden last year, that a lot of people are thinking they're going to be like last year's Bengals, which I don't think is going to happen. But they're like, if their defense can really play well, like the Bengals defense did last year, they can make a run. And it's like, man, you've got this year's Bengals to go through. You got the Bills to go through. You've got the
Yeah.
Chargers to start, and you have the Chiefs. Like the AFC is scary, man. It's so scary.
They don't have a Jamar Chase. They don't. Travis Etienne is not Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon had an awesome season last year.
Travis Etienne is good, but he's not Joe Mixon yet. And Christian Kirk certainly isn't Jamar Chase, but Christian Kirk I think shocked a lot of people this year and probably shut up a lot of haters after that signing. They got clowned for that signing, and he had an amazing year, a very very good year.
I was at the he caught that bomb against the Titans in that game. That was, dude. I was so happy for him that he reached his incentives too.
Mm-hmm.
He made like an extra $1.5 million on that game.
I love when people make those incentives.
Just got to feel good for him.
Yeah,
you have to.
Right. So Buffalo.
I think the Chargers are going to win. I do think the Chargers are going to win.
I think they'll win too. I think it'll be a close game. I think it's like a last second. Herbert's got to pull some shit out to do it.
Yeah, because sometimes the Chargers, if Austin Eckler isn't going, the team isn't going.
That's just been the Chargers for years. It's like down in the fourth quarter trying to do something, and for years it was Phil Rivers throwing a backbreaking interception. And now maybe it's Justin Herbert doing something, hopefully for them.
Right. Okay. I think we'll all watch Miami get embarrassed on Sunday.
Well, yeah.
Tua's probably not going to play.
It's Teddy Bridgewater if he's not playing. So at least it's not Skylar Thompson. So
well, I don't know. Skylar started over Teddy on Sunday against the Jets. Which, by the way, fuck the Jets. The one leg of my 7-leg parlay, I would have won $1,400, but the fucking Jets lost.
That wasn't the thing that I thought your Eagles pick was the dumb one, which
I knew that wasn't stupid.
Yeah, people
14.5.
People were clowning us, and I was like, I don't know, man. We won. That's all that matters. Yeah, it sucks. We didn't. I would have loved a confidence boost. Would have been like a 30 spot on the Giants, but I don't know. I'll take the bye. That's all I care about. I wanted the bye to get healthy. So that's my Eagles thing for tonight.
It's good that Hurts got in there and kind of shook off a little bit of rust. That's good.
I think that's what was most important. I didn't like how Sirianni said after he was in a lot of pain and hurting when he threw. Yeah. That's not great. So, yeah, some inopportune injuries. We got people back. I'll tell you what. My MVP of the team has recently become Hassan Reddick. That man has been a one-man wrecking machine in the backfield. He is always on the quarterback's ass. That man may single-handedly take us to the Super Bowl. He's been so awesome.
I still have that tweet pinned on our profile, by the way.
I know. I look at it every time. I'm like,
back from September.
Got to do it,
man.
I'll tell you what. We can just move on to the next one. I'd love to take the Giants again. I'll take either of these teams again, but I would love for the Giants to come back to the link with a fully healthy team and just kick the everything shit out of them.
I think this is not going to be close. I think Minnesota's been getting wrecked. And there were times where they didn't look that great against the Bears, and the Bears had Nathan Peterman in there
and trying to lose.
Yeah, exactly. I think it will be close. I think it'll be another probably like 27-23 game, but there will be no 60-yard field goal, and there will be
No.
no inopportune fumble this time for
The
the
uh,
Giants.
the Giants fans are so happy they got Minnesota. They are like, we're gonna win. They have already cashed their ticket to move on to the next round. And as much as I'd love to watch Minnesota cry, and just that'd be so hilarious, I think they're getting a little too big for their britches, and I think Minnesota might. I'll take Minnesota. I think you and I have been opposite on most of these except for San Francisco. Actually, no, I agree with you on Bills, but yeah, I'll take Minnesota. I think Justin Jefferson single-handedly just wills that team to a win, like a 200-yard, 3-touchdown game somehow.
I mentioned this. I didn't mention this in the last episode. The team is just Justin Jefferson.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about
every
it last
single
week.
one of their losses. He's had like less than 50 yards, less than 5 catches. Other than that game against the Lions where he had like 200 yards but no touchdowns.
Yeah, it's games where he gets shut down, and that's what we did. We shut him down. Hopefully, if we get them again, we can shut him down. Yeah, that guy. I think I mentioned it last week. He should be talked about as MVP too, because he is. Without him, they might be below 500.
Seriously.
I think the Bills game, other than the Bills that stupid fumble and whatnot, he won that game for them. He had like 2 unbelievable catches at the end of the game.
Yeah, the win against the Bills, like I said, was lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going New York. You're going Minnesota.
Yep.
This one's interesting.
Bengals. Give it to me.
Baltimore kind of stuck around in that second half, and I don't think the Bengals wanted them to. I think the game on Sunday will be more like the second half of the game this week.
Well, it depends on who's playing quarterback. It won't be Anthony Brown.
No.
Even if it's Tyler Huntley, I mean that guy is. Neither of them are that good. Tyler Huntley is okay for a couple games, but
no, it's crazy because they're all the same, just varying levels of worst.
yeah,
It goes Lamar, Huntley, and then
yeah,
what's his name?
Anthony Brown.
Anthony
That guy
Brown,
has no vision and whatsoever. I was watching that game with Reagan. I was like, this guy's throwing into triple coverage every time. This guy is. It is true. It's literally like they all can like run and do well with that. Not as good as Lamar. Like, yeah, each skill set just gets worse and worse, and the passing gets significantly worse with each one.
Mm-hmm. I do like Tyler Huntley. I mean, he's not a bad backup.
No, he's a perfect backup for that system. I'll tell you what. I bet you they're missing Trace McSorley. Trace would have kept him closer. Trace would have kept him closer in that game.
Hitting home runs. But yeah, dude, the Joe Mixon coin flip celebration
That was hysterical.
was great. Until I watched the replay, I didn't know he actually had a coin under his glove.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he just, mimed it.
That was great. I don't even know if he got flagged for that. I don't know if they noticed it. But that
Yeah,
is brilliant. That was brilliant. And
God, so good.
It didn't end up mattering, but they had a right to be mad. Like, there was...
Right, yeah.
I think you had it in the itinerary before. There was
I did.
literally...
I got rid of some fluff.
There was literally a rule in the book for that. Maybe not that specific situation, but a game getting canceled. And it's like, why wouldn't you just follow that?
But that was all for protesting reasons, cheating reasons, and I think players like safety. Like if both teams, I don't know. There was a third reason. I can't remember what it was. But this is a whole new situation.
I know. It just seems dumb. Like,
I mean, it's happened once before where players died on the field.
Yeah.
Freaking
It's just the fact that
butt
like
kiss.
if you take it to the like bare nitty gritty of it, like the game got canceled. Why wouldn't you just? I know it's different, but like the game got canceled. Follow what the rules say about the game getting canceled, but it ended up not really mattering. Like The neutral field thing will be weird if it ends up like that. Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But again,
which is why I'm kind of hoping that like Buffalo gets upset.
So that we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
it's only
like, I don't want to hear, because it'll be the whole week leading up to it. Why are we at a neutral site? Why are we at a neutral site? It should be at home. It should be here. It should be. It's gonna be annoying as fuck.
Well, I think it is. Yeah, I think Kansas City probably has more of a gripe with it because it didn't matter because Kansas City won their last 2 games. Even if the Bills won their last 2 games, Kansas City was.
No, but Buffalo would have got it if they won.
Oh, Buffalo would have been.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's I was thinking differently. So I don't know, man. I guess maybe that's the best way to play it out. You're gonna play the Super Bowl on a neutral site, so think of it as a warm up.
That's true. That's actually very true. I had not even thought about that. That's
I just thought about that just now. I don't think about it as a warm up for the Super Bowl. And it's absolutely going to be an indoor site. I almost guarantee it.
I
know they've talked about Miami,
outdoor teams. Maybe they would make an exception.
Make it a true neutral site game. Go to Canada.
go to Paycourt. Back to the site where it all happened. I mean, it's kind of in the middle. It's a little bit closer to Buffalo, but it's in the middle.
Play the game in London.
Go to Germany. Go to Mexico City. Just have it be a 50-50 game.
The Germany game this year was pretty exciting, so I'd be okay with going to Germany again.
It was. I also would not mind it in Mexico City with the elevation.
Cool. That'd be cool, but then fans
awesome.
Are like, "I'm gonna get my passport."
Yeah, it would never happen, but that would be.
No, it'll be one of the stadiums now.
So Cincinnati, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I agree with Cincy. I think they'll start to ramp it up for the playoffs too.
Yeah.
I don't think either team was really trying to show much during that last game because they knew they were pretty much going to play each other.
Right. I'm thinking like 28-22, a bunch of field goals from the Ravens, I think.
It's going to be another game I don't want to watch, but I'm going to watch it anyway.
Right. It's the night game, so I'm probably not going to watch the whole thing anyway. But
and then the last one, I already said it earlier, I'm definitely not going to pick Dallas, so yeah, Bucks.
I think Dallas is going to win. The Bucks have just been in disarray the whole year.
But they're healthier now. They have an offensive line. Their offensive line got healthy.
They just lost. I mean, I know they put their backup in the second half, but it wasn't pretty against the Falcons.
I think they'll be fine.
I think they're going to be
bad. The Cowboys are bad.
I know, but if Dak doesn't throw any picks, they win. I think it comes down to that.
Their people talk about Dallas's defense. They have gotten points put up on them. They got points put up on them by Gardner Minshew. They got points put up on them by the Commanders. And who did they play last week? I'm pretty sure they got points put up on them. And I think they lost. No, they didn't lose. They won. Let me find it. Week 17.
They
won
against the Titans, 27-13.
The Josh Dobbs Titans. You let Josh Dobbs put 13 points on you?
They let the Jags put 40 up on them.
Yeah, that's right. They lost to the Jags. Yeah, for having such an amazing defense. Tom Brady sits back there. He picks it apart. Gets just enough points, and the defense takes care of the rest. And that's the end of it. Bye-bye, Dallas. Mike McCarthy is going to look so fat on Monday night. So fat.
I think he's fired. I think he goes. I don't know if he'll be fired. I think he'll go for one more year, and if it's not going well, they will fire him halfway through the year. I think he'll be one of the first Cowboy coaches.
Yeah.
That one's tough. I really do think it'll just be an ugly game. I think the Cowboys will pull away though.
It's going to be a bad game. Hopefully it's not. I don't know. Maybe every single game will be awesome. Wouldn't that be awesome?
You can only hope, but that usually comes on divisional round weekend. So we got to wait another week.
What if all the games were like 45-40 games? Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be awesome. I would just bet the over for all of them.
Yeah, what if they were all like that Rams Chiefs game a couple years ago? That was like the greatest game of all time.
Ooh.
That was. I might go back and watch that game.
In Mexico City. Because of wildfires, it was supposed to be in California.
It's true.
All right. So, yeah, playoff field set. I'm looking forward to it. Last thing we want to go over. The results are in. And they're looking pretty good. I went 12-5 overall in the schedule prediction. RJ, you went 11-6 overall. Fucking, I think we did pretty damn well.
Yeah, I didn't think the Eagles were going to be that good. I was hoping we were going to be good. I didn't know we were going to be as good as we were. I mean, if Jalen Hurts, I kind of got lucky that Jalen Hurts got hurt because I guess I wasn't right on the games, but the actual
your actual record was closer,
by closer
1 game
because
than
of
mine.
that.
But I had them at 5-12. They went 8-9. You had them at 12-5. They went 14-3. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, you had like biggest hits and misses. I guess the biggest miss I had was Commanders to be the one to be our first loss. I had the Cardinals to be our first loss, and that the Cardinals turned out to just be so bad. And
that also unfortunately took away the perfect season. So that kind of sucks.
And in retrospect now, I'm kind of happy about that. I think I said it then, like it takes a little bit of pressure off of like got to go perfect, the perfect season, and that's just added. Get the loss out of the way. And I guess my biggest hits were the Vikings and Dallas wins early, because I think a lot of people probably had us losing those, and I was like, nah, fuck that. We're going to win those just because of pure hatred for those teams. I wanted to win those.
Right. My biggest miss was definitely the Bears on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
That was the last game the Bears won. Fields went off.
I think you cut it out, but didn't you have that guy's tweet in the itinerary about everyone saying the Bears are going to go 13-3-14 or something like that?
The Bears have won 2 of their first 3 games. All these analysts predicting they'll go 1-14 over their next 15 games are just wrong.
And then they did.
Well, guess what? They did go 1-14.
That was very, very funny.
That was pretty funny. I just took it out because, like I said, I cut some fluff because I knew this would be a longer one.
It is, but
this is average. Now. This is average time.
Yeah, because we got
parsed it down to average time a little bit.
After the schedule things, I just got one thing I added to the bits and pieces, which is just a hockey tough thing. Which is, I don't know if you saw it. I'm sorry,
I didn't know who Blake Wheeler was.
Were you? I didn't know if you're done with your schedule predictions.
Oh, the biggest hit. I think. I don't know if people thought the Vikings were going to be as good as they were, so I picked the Pats to lose against the Vikings on Thanksgiving, and you were like, "Oh, that's prime time, Kirk. Are you sure you want to take that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think so."
Yeah,
so that was kind of a toss-up going in. I think that was honestly kind of bad that the loss was one of my biggest hits. But
I don't know if you remember, people were really high on the Vikings at the beginning of the season. They were like, because this new coach, Kevin O'Connell, they were like, he's going to unlock Kirk Cousins. That's what everyone kept saying. And, I mean, yeah, they were good, but, again, frauds.
Lucky.
I will say, and even I'll give myself a little self-awareness. I think any of these top NFC teams right now, other than the 49ers, if they lose their first game, you could call them frauds. I would be mad, but if we lose that divisional round game against whoever it is, unless somehow I don't think there's a way we could end up against the 49ers.
No.
Yeah, you could call us frauds because it was an easy schedule, but I don't know. I've said my piece about it throughout the season.
I think it's weird. So many of these wild card matchups are just rematches. I don't know if that it makes it a little bit more boring, but like
It's kind of what's happened since they added that 7th team. It's a lot of conference games.
Right.
Like 1, 2,
Dolphins, Bills,
3.
Ravens, Bengals.
3 of
Seahawks,
them are
49ers.
conference games.
Yeah.
Or
It feels like more than
yeah.
that.
Divisional games.
But I
3
mean,
of them are
like
divisional
Chargers, Jaguars
games.
is a rematch.
All
Giants,
of them.
Vikings is a rematch. All of them are rematches, actually. Yeah.
All of them are rematches.
So
they've all seen each other. It's hard to beat
I guess that
team
does
twice in
kind
the
of make it
NFL.
more interesting, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Different times.
I'm excited.
Season. But yeah, so actually Shane was the one who kind of put me onto this whole thing. Blake Wheeler, who I believe still plays for the Winnipeg Jets. I haven't been paying attention to hockey as much because the Flyers are awful. He got his testicle burst, like his testicle bursted, however you say that, in the middle of the game.
Bursted.
And he finished the game. That's fucking
crazy.
hockey talk. That's hockey talk.
Ruptured testicle.
Take that, you NBA pussies. With your days off, your rest. Oh, I have to run up and down a court. Guess what? That guy was skating around with a burst testicle. And he finished the game. And you can't go out there for little Johnny and perform. I shouldn't say perform. That's a bad word.
I have to run on wood and I'm 7 feet tall.
My joints. How about I go out there and speed bag your testicle and then have you play the rest of the game? That's probably not nearly as bad as what happened.
I would rather get cut by a skate. Pulling a Vander Kane and get my wrist slashed.
Yeah, because you probably don't feel that because they're so sharp. You probably just see it and you're like, oh,
right,
fuck.
you see it and you're like, holy shit, I need to leave.
I gotta get off the ice.
I forgot to mention this last week. Guess who placed the first legal sports bet in Ohio?
Well, I saw it, so I don't want to ruin it, but it makes sense.
You can guess it. Pete Rose. Pete
Perfect.
Rose. And I think he bet on the Reds to win the World Series. I think that's what he put money on. I mean, who cares? It's probably not even his money. It's probably the casino's money. They were probably like,
yeah.
Wouldn't it be awesome if we got Pete Rose to come in here and place the first legal sports bet in Ohio? I highly doubt that,
Yeah.
I mean, he might
know.
do it by himself, but...
Or it was just an amount of money that didn't really matter to him. I don't know how much it was, but... I don't know if but yeah.
Hell. Now, put him in the Hall of Fame now.
Did you see, you know that guy, Mattress Mac?
Yeah!
That guy lost a lot of money last night.
Good.
He's lost a lot of money in the past couple... Oh, no, he got that Astros bet. He won that Astros bet.
Oh, yeah, where he was... Or no, was that Mattress Mac or was that the other guy who had wheelbarrows of money?
No, it was Mattress Mac because when he was at Citizens Bank, people were coming at him. All the Philly fans were yelling at him, and he was yelling back. He's like 98-year-old, ready to fight Philly fans. I'm like, that's not smart.
Yeah, no, not at all. You'll get your ass beat, old man.
Yeah. You got batteries.
Alrighty, everyone. The Patriot season is over, and I think this episode is as well.
Yes, sir.
Let's root for the Eagles. Fuck it. We're on the Eagles train. We're on the Eagles train.
Birds!
Let's go. Go Birds!
Go Birds!
Everyone have a great week, and let's go. Munch.